was in front of the mirror and just told myself, you have to be the DJ.
A cup of broccoli a day keeps your bad estrogen at bay. Actually used to do illegal rave.
I'm against the fake shamans in this world and people who is going exactly to these kind of retreats.
It's really the grandmother, the medicine that reactivated my voice.
If you are a doctor, you will say, I am a doctor. If you are a shaman, you will say, I am a shaman.
Welcome everybody back to the Vibe Higher with Gigi podcast. I'm your host Gigi. Today we have two very special guests. We have Andres Wizard, who's a ceremony man, a DJ composer, a music composer, a DJ, an ecstatic dance DJ, a musician. He comes from Chile. He spent a lot of time in the Amazon with a lot of tribes over there in Africa. He'll tell you more. We have Claire Channel, who is a live a vocalist, a singer, a songstress, a channeler, and she's a female empowerment coach who supports women to eat within their cycle. She's also used to be a bodybuilder, so we'll learn more about that. Thank you very much for being here today. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Pleasure
Gigi.
to be here.
Awesome. How are you guys doing today?
Oh,
Amazing.
Amazing. It's a beautiful day in this island of the gods in Bali.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We could start with you, Andreas. Could you tell us a bit about your journey and how you became a music producer and an ecstatic dance DJ here on the island of
Okay,
gods?
thank you for asking me because, this is one of the most wonderful chapters that I'm living in my life. And this journey started in 2020 when pandemic started. I was so busy working as a shaman. I was booked to different countries, traveling all around the world, doing my ceremonies, doing retreats in different parts of the planet. And then pandemic came, and I was in my house alone in Peru, nobody coming, everything canceled, no job, completely like free time off completely for me, nothing to do. I was in my house in Peru, and then I had to go to Chile, of course, because in Peru nothing was happening. So in Chile I had more possibilities to produce some money and keep on providing my family, my kids, and I went to Chile, and I was in Chile for several months, and then I received a calling from a friend of mine from Ukraine, and he lives in California for many years. He's an entrepreneur and also businessman in USA, in Chicago, and he was living in California in this wonderful white castle in Solana Beach in San Diego.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and in this house was one of my best brothers in the world, one of the most important men in my path, which is Roman Tchaikovsky. And he was in there, and he was sitting in this desk, working in different things, because he is a technology channeler, amazing one, which he conquered my mind with the technology, actually, which wasn't something that I was so into it before. I was very busy with the shamanism, and I never was so into technology. I only had like one iPhone. I never had even computer, nothing. I never had laptop, nothing of that. And Roman was in there, and he was producing some music. He's also music producer, musician, really talented, and pianist and accordion player. So he was in there, and he invited me to record some of the songs that I was singing in the ceremonies that I was doing in their home. So because he was like, brother, I want to record you, your music is so good. And I say, okay, brother, let's do it. And that in 2020 in November was my first approach with a microphone and a studio and the softwares about it. We were working in Logic Pro in that time, and then we started to work in Ableton. Yeah, so when that happened, I start to record and feel my voice, because it's a different feeling when you play live and when you record your voice and then you listen through the monitors. It's a different feeling, so you become even more critical about yourself. So I had to just listen myself, and I start to grow up, and then we start to make our first productions, and we create the White Circle label with Roman. And then I start to invite some other musicians, some of them from Chile, some of them from different parts of the world. They were coming to visit me, and we start to record them, and we made our first songs and productions of electronic music, which was something that I never did before. Yeah, and then the game start, the adventure start, and then, well, the first studio that we set was in San Diego, California, and then from there we jumped to Dubai. I brought my friends and I introduced my communities in Dubai. We set a studio, and we also brought one of the technology companies that is still in development, about to launch right now in few days, the token for the Ghost Drive, one of our companies. So I set second studio in Dubai. Then from Dubai, I set a studio in Egypt, on front to the pyramids too. And then from Egypt back to Dubai, and then from Dubai we jumped to Bali, and we set a studio here in Bali. All this happening in between 2020 and 2024.
Wow.
Was one of my last productions with the White Circle in 2023, and then 2024 I finished the albums. And yeah, I used to have a DJ who was the guy who was managing all these machines and everything, which I didn't have any knowledge about it, absolutely nothing. But I'm a musician all my life, so I have amazing ear for the music. So, and of course, I'm also a smart person, and I had this issue with this guy that I was working with. He helped a lot in our music productions and everything, but he was busy with his own projects, and also they tried to do like a very nasty game in Dubai, with my clients, asking them for money for their own projects. So I get very upset with this, and I was like, okay, guys, no, goodbye from you. I don't want to see you anymore. Thank you for all the music and everything. This is all, now our productions with Roman. So thank you so much for all of this. And I just cut them off. One of them, he stole my passport in Dubai, only to sabotage my work in there. He get even all my clients, and he was like doing all this game against me only because I was cutting them off. And I was pretty sad because we made like a only contract by word, because we were Chileans like friends and brothers, and I invite them to do all my ceremonies, parties. I introduced them with all my communities, and finally they were doing work under the table, and I discovered them. So I was super sad. I was super sad and disappointed. And I remember I was in one ceremony and I went to the bathroom. In the last ceremonies that I made with them, and I went to the bathroom, and I was in the bathroom thinking about it, because the medicines and everything, they make you think deeper in what is going on with exactly what is going on with you. And I was in there, and I was in front to the mirror, and then I say, oh fuck, what I'm gonna do now? I have so much music. I will need a new DJ. And then it's like I was in front to the mirror and talking with myself, and myself just told myself, like, you have to be the DJ. What are you doing? You are enough smart to learn to use all those machines. You are a musician. Just go and do it. Yeah,
It's worth the journey.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was like a vision, and I saw myself, and then I say, okay, this is the moment. Now I need to be the DJ because I have all this music, and I will spread this music and share it. Of course, always giving all the credits for everybody who participate, doing all these productions. I will give all the credits, but I think this music also belonged to me because I was in every single session of studio for long time, hours and hours. I saw hundreds of sunrises making this music with lots of people, musicians and producers managing the system in there. But I'm very creative, and I helped to make every sound and structure all the arrangements of the songs. I'm an expert in music too. So
Yeah, he is.
it was an
Definitely
amazing
part of you.
adventure. Yeah. And now here I am starting this journey as a DJ. I'm still learning. And I also want to mention here in this podcast that I respect lots the all DJs, and I'm not trying even to show myself like a super DJ or something. No, I'm very humble about it, and I know this is gonna take even few years, but I'm sure and I believe in myself. I will get the mastery, and I will be playing in many places in this world. Same how I did with the medicines. I'm totally committed, and I'm using most of my time in there. And now I'm so happy because after all this journey, it's being learned how to be a DJ, with different people also, and now, since 1 year ago, my love Claire, she came to my life, and like now I always say we are one in the on the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I cannot even think about like playing music by myself in there because we just complement each other so much in this space. We are also growing together. We are always like giving feedback each other to do it better and better and better. And now we get just new equipments, and like we are here in Bali about to play in the Alchemy. We are residents in Alchemy.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Maybe Claire, you spoke to me a little bit about your background and how
Yeah.
like you opened your voice.
Yeah.
Maybe you could elaborate more as to how you got here, how you met Andreas, and what led you.
Yeah,
to-
sure. So thank you for the
When did
question. And so I started singing, I think about 5 years old, and in the choir, was having music lessons, also playing the piano and violin. And I was, so singing in the choirs, talent shows, all of this. But it was probably around like 12, 13 when I actually stopped singing because my parents broke up, and it was very traumatic, and I went through a very traumatic time with all of that, and I kind of lost my voice in all respects, like to communicate properly, like would never really say what I thought. With my singing, I became very shy, which I'm not shy. I'm not a shy
You're
person.
definitely not
I'm
shy.
definitely not a shy person at all. And then time goes on, and I did bits of singing here and there. Also with my ex-partner, I did a bit of singing, but nothing like what I'm doing now. And so I came to Bali, and had been in Bali for about 8 months, and then it's like, it's time. The grandmother is calling me. I need to do ayahuasca to be able to release, expand all of these things. So I actually went to one of his ceremonies.
Oh, wow.
So that was over a year ago, and like within the ceremony, I released so much, and then I started to sing actually, and I'm a dancer as well, so I was dancing pretty much through the entirety of the ceremonies, but then I started to sing, and obviously we met there. Absolutely nothing happened at all. He's extremely professional, but we had a very strong connection. It was particularly the moment when I was just dancing in front of him to my favourite song, which is now we've made it a collaborative song, Cosmic Dance, and we really connected through that. And then it was a few weeks later, and we started messaging, and we got together. and we've been together ever since. Literally, we're one.
Yeah,
We are one. And so it's really the grandmother, the medicine that reactivated my voice, and my inspiration, my lyrics that I write are all from experience and also from me connecting with other people, because the medicine has also opened my abilities as a channeler, and my connection, and seeing energies, and then we are just making music. That's what we do. We make music, and we inspire each other, and we give each other that feedback as well, like how to be better. And I'm learning so much, and like every day, every week, I'm learning how to be better, how to activate my voice in a better way, the dynamics of music, and it's a beautiful expression of self. That's what I find the most, is it's an expression of self, and all my thoughts and all my feelings, and how I communicate with people, and communicate with my energy and with each other, and then how we inspire each other. We've written so many songs recently, acoustic, but then the acoustic turns into electronic, and then the electronic turns into something else, and it's just like, wow, full expansion and full creation.
You mentioned a bit about the channeling, like grandmother medicine opened up, because you already had that gift, and I guess we all have that as well. But
we do.
It really, like, could you talk more about that?
So full expansion. Actually, from a very, very young age, I was always collecting stones and collecting crystals. Had so many earrings, and I would like feathers and everything, and I was always connected so intensely with people's energy, and I'm such an energy and a light, and people were always very drawn to me and wanted to like be around me all the time. So it's always been there. But then even before the medicine, and I did a lot of like conscious connect and rebirth, breath work. I'm a yoga teacher, a meditation teacher as well. So that was even before the medicine, and I have visions. Like, what brought me actually to Bali was a vision that I had after a breathwork session, about 3.5 years ago, of me walking through a field being guided by these two amazing eagles. And it was like long, tall grass and leading into this forest. And it was so incredible. And then I actually got the tattoo on my arm of Star, my eagle, my spirit animal. Oh, wow. And then it wasn't until I came to Bali that I was like, went to go and do a really beautiful mushroom journey just outside of Ubud. I looked to the left, and it was the exact field that I saw in my visions with the two eagles. I have this activation, I have this connection, and it is a connection to my past life, my future self, but it's also the connection to other people and other people's energy, other people's thoughts, other people's feelings. And that what I get in there, and then I can also help people to release, and I teach people how to release with my voice. Like, my voice cracks people open, like emotionally, like in like their fears come out, but they're also, their light comes out. And that's my biggest gift, is allowing people to shine and teaching people how to shine with their voice through their dance, and like that human connection that we all have, because we all have that ability to connect with ourselves and other people. Wow. Yeah.
Andres, you spent a lot of time with the indigenous tribes in Brazil and other places. Could you talk about the influence that you had, the teachings that you had over there, and how it influenced you in your music today?
Oh yeah, as Claire was saying, so I have to reactivate actually the music, because I was connected with the music since my 9-10 years old, since I was in the school. I also was part of the choir of the school. I learned how to sing in there. Because of a punishment. Actually, because I never was connected.
Naughty boy,
I never was so connected with the system. You know what I mean? So I was like, the teachers and everything was worried about me. Like, they sent me to the psychologist and everything. And then the music teacher of my school, he was super hardcore. Like, he was this kind of teacher that he will take you from your ear if you do something wrong. Well, right? And
back in Chile?
Back in Chile, yeah. When I was in primary school. Yeah, between my 10, 11, 12 years old was all that process until my 13. When I left the primary school, I left, but that teacher never touched me because when I went to the choir of the school,
You're protected.
yeah, I was protected from my grandmothers, always, always. Elena and Juana always protected me from the stars. So this teacher was famous because he was hitting the students. Everybody was afraid of this teacher. And he brought me to the choir, and he was so excited to kick my ass in there, you know. And then he sent me to the third voice, like, oh, they're behind in there, blah blah blah. And then he came, and he was so excited to do bullying with me that day because I was famous to don't put attention in class and nothing like that. I wasn't interested. Like I was more interested in the nature, watching through the window, the tree or the bird in there doing whatever. Like I was in the Disney World. Yeah. So yeah.
Because you're already enlightened.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Your
That's
third
because
eye
I
was
said-
already open.
Yeah, I was always awake. I never had to go too deep in that sense. So, but I was in there, and then I start to sing. And then after, when I left the primary school, 1 year later, when I was in first grade of secondary high school, my grandmother, who was the woman who raised me, and I grew up with her, my mother was away. Living with this very abuser stepfather. So my grandmother, she protect me to don't allow him to abuse of me because he was really bad. So yeah, I was in there, and my grandmother, she died at my 14 years old, and I was lost completely. And the music saved me because with the music, I just like start to play with my friends. So in my neighborhood, in my hometown, were some of the best musicians of my country. In there, so lots of other musicians too. And one of my best friends, he was guitar player. So we start to sing together all songs, rock songs. Like we were singing Creedence, we were singing Guns N' Roses, Pink Floyd, all those bands.
Classics.
Classic rock. And that was my first school of music. So we start to play. And then I left the school at my 14, 15. I left the school, and I start to travel around my country, different places. So we were playing on the beach, different pubs, in bars, in different clubs. We were playing music in there and living with the music. We used to play on the streets also, or also do artistic things like clowns and do like jokes in between out of the supermarkets, playing music. And the people always had like a super good vibe with that. They were giving us money. So I didn't need any help even from my parents and nothing. I was living by myself from very
At
very
14,
young.
you had to leave your
Yeah. Because I came to my mother's. The stepfather was in there, so I said, "No, this is shit. I want to leave from here." So I just came sometimes, and I was in there, and then goodbye again, and then back, goodbye again. I never spent so much time with them. Yeah, and actually, I was playing music until my 21 years old. I was like very into music, playing. I used to organize these huge fires on the beach in my beach hometown too, where my uncle, he was like a kind of a major, the consul of the major too. So I was in there, and I had permission to do the biggest fires on the beach. I used to make these huge fires on the beach with 100 people, 200 people in one fire, playing music for everybody, hosting them, inviting them.
Party.
Yeah. And I was playing music. And then I met this girlfriend, and she was like a different style. And I stopped to play music somehow. I stopped at my 21 years old. I stopped to play music. And yeah, because I was disconnected from my friends, she invited me to live actually in an apartment. We went to live in an apartment in other place. I left my hometown in that time, and I was like for few years in this vibe. I left the music, and then I broke up with her, and I met the mother of my son, Maria Paz. Yeah. And then when I had 26 years old, I was being consumed by the system, literally consumed. Yeah.
with when you have kids, like
I
you
didn't have
do-
kids yet.
Oh,
No,
okay,
no,
okay.
no, no. She's the mother of my son, Maria Paz. But
Right.
I met her. We were like only couple in that time. Yeah, on my 26. My first son was at my 33 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, after the medicines, not before. So I was being consumed by the system, and I forgot about singing and stuff. I was selling computers for a retail company.
Imagine him, computer seller.
Computer parts? Or just-
No, the full computers. I used to be the best seller of computers in the retail
Because you
company.
knew how to talk to them.
Only
and
because I'm
they
so
could-
dynamic. I didn't even
Charismatic. Yeah.
believe me, sister. I didn't even know how to use the computers, but I was the best seller.
They just looked
Yeah,
like gray
yeah.
boxes.
A real salesman.
And also during that time, I had a big trauma in my life, big trauma, and yeah, somebody hit me in on the street. I was like having some drinks with friends, and somebody like a group of punks, they came to us, and one of them he hit me with a chain and a locker on my eye, and like I went to hospital like in ambulance and everything, like with my eye destroyed. And yeah, and I promised to myself this is not gonna happen again to me, and I start to train, and I went to train with my one of my uncles and my aunties that they have a kung fu academy. Yeah, they are amazing academy. They are studying China.
That's very spiritual too, Kung Fu. It has a very like spiritual
Yeah,
part
of
to
course.
it.
Yeah.
Connection.
Exactly.
Chi.
Exactly. So actually, my uncle he teach me so well. He actually one of the first teachings that he gave me was honor your enemy and never fight with anger, and this will never happen again with you. Nobody will touch you, and was exactly like that. And then I learned how to fight so well kung fu, and also I was going to gym and training, and was meeting with all the UFC community in Chile. So I went into it, and I was like in there, and then I get a job as a security guard in one of the best clubs in Chile. And I was working in these two
You're
jobs.
fit.
In these two jobs, I was working like, and then I was consumed for that. In some point, my dreams they were all chaos inside. Yeah, I used to wake up in the night, like, and sometimes like thinking that somebody will come and even kill me.
There's a lot of energies in those nightclubs.
Lot of energy.
course, yeah.
Yeah.
Spirits that come in too. Because there's a lot of, like,
Yeah.
opening.
Well, spirits
Yeah.
as well. We think about spirits and
Yeah, a lot
alcohol.
of, like-
Alcohol is the spirit,
Exactly.
and it evokes spirits, like
Oh my God.
very dark
and
spirits
bad,
as well. A lot with especially with alcohol. Yeah.
Oof, was like a full on, and full time. I used to work from Monday to Sunday, non-stop. And I was, how I'm telling you, I was being consumed. So I was using lots of alcohol, also drugs, which I never did before I start to, before I stopped to play music, I never was into drugs. And when I was in that time, I was in that too. And then in this moment when I couldn't sleep anymore in peace and have my amazing dreams, which is one of the best things that I have in my life, is my capacity to dream and go into these journeys when I go to bed. So I was.
They say that's the real world.
Yeah.
This is where we go back.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I was reflecting all the chaos. So just in there, one of my friends, he came to me to pick me up, and he invited me to a ceremony, and I went to this ceremony. He invited me Friday night. I went on Saturday. I had my journey, my vision. I saw myself as the music back to me. In one night, I remember everything about me, and then on Sunday I was resting, and on Monday I quit my jobs. All of it, I never went to work again in there. And then I start to play music again. That same week, like on Wednesday, Thursday, I was playing music again. Just like that. So I want to say that all the credits about my recovered memory is for the Amazonian tribes, especially for the Noquequin tribe. They live in the heart of the Amazon next to the most sacred trees and the most sacred environment. They came to save me, and they saved my soul, and they woke me up again from this dream that I was having in this superficial life full of violence and fake people around. Yeah, yeah,
Masks.
yeah. So all the credits for them. Definitely, they woke me up in that. That's because when I start to produce music, I was all for shamanism, and like the first music was their songs. I start to record their songs, and now I have an amazing one, Bali Huasca, that we record here with a shaman. We recorded here with a shaman from Noke Queen from Amazon. I broke with another friend a few years ago, and I brought him to the studio. We recorded in Labyrinth in Nuanu City, one of their songs.
So that's where you learned all the tribal music. Because I had the graciousness of attending one of your ceremonies out in Moncton with Carrie Hummingbird, and I was taken aback by there was so much like tribal music that you were singing at the time, and is that where you had learned?
Oh yeah,
all those songs?
lots. I learned. I learned a complete set. They blessed me with a full set of their music, hours and hours of music with all meanings, all understandings about what is this song and the other one completely. So I start to manage even their languages about it. And then I also went to live in Peru, and I met the Shipibo tribes. And also I want to give lots of credits for my people in Peru, for my grandmother Amelia, for my sister Selva, who were one of my most important mentors, and I learned so much in there too about the Icaros I made, my diets also, and thanks to them, I'm the man that I am today.
Wow.
Yeah, and all the music and all the inspiration, I owe it to them. Yeah. About my ecstatic dance, at least, all the music that I did is all tribal. And then I'm telling you, I was like in San Diego, like a super Lakota, beautiful Lakota master who is already in the stars. He just back to the Star Nation, Black Fox. He was recording with us, and he left for us an amazing song. It's a calling for the Great Spirit and for Mother Earth to guide us always to good places. And yeah, I owe everything what I have right now to my people in Amazon, in the mountains also, in Peru, Machu Picchu, all my people around all these amazing
Sacred.
places. I want to give the credits for them. Yeah, this is how I started, and was my first inspiration. And then I went into technology also. So I always say now that I'm not a shaman anymore. I'm a neo-shaman. Yeah, because I'm not Amazonian. I'm not Andean. My ancestors are even from Europe, so it's like a
Neo.
yeah. So I'm a neo shaman, and
Yeah,
I practice
exactly.
neo shamanism. This is what I do. Yeah.
I was curious to know more about Claire, your bodybuilding adventures. And I know
Big
it's kind of like
adventures.
cutting off the topic,
Yes. She has so much to say. Also.
Yeah. So,
Amazing.
what would you like to know?
Because the discipline involved in having to be in a competition, in a
Absolutely.
bodybuilding competition, and you mentioned also the downfalls in your house that
Yeah.
ensued, and what brought you to the your coaching as of now. So I guess I don't know how it comes into the music.
Oh,
realm,
completely. So, yeah, so I actually hadn't even set foot into. I've always been a dancer, a raver. I actually used to do illegal raves.
Me too.
Yeah.
In 1997
Yeah.
in the UK.
Yeah. Oh, amazing.
Squad parties. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And so I was actually like hosting illegal raves in like Thetford Forest and like giant sound systems. So I got my exercise like through dancing. Like, 'cause I've always been a dancer, and I am a Duracell bunny. I have energy for eons. No, baby.
Oh yes.
Particularly. Yeah. But yeah, and then so I was actually in a very long relationship before this. I was in an 18-year relationship. But actually at that time I was in another relationship as well, but it was all we were all friends. But yeah, so I didn't start training until it was a year before my wedding. So I was 28 and I was like, right, I want to get fit and healthy for my wedding. And so I sort of stopped the endorphins of taking a lot of drugs and raving and all of that to intense training. And I started going to the gym and loved spinning classes, body pump, all of that. Just became obsessed. I also have quite an obsessive personality, but that's what gets you discipline. Like an obsession gets you to your goals, right? If you obsess about your goals and what you want, then you will get there.
And hopefully your obsession is towards a positive.
Exactly.
endeavor.
Yeah. That, it's the obsession can be many things, but like a positive obsession rather than a negative obsession, for sure. Well, it actually took, I'll explain in a minute, like about how it kind of went down. But yeah, so I was training, looked amazing for my wedding. And then I was like, I think I met someone that was competing and they were like, Claire, you should compete. Like, you'll have an amazing physique. You put on muscle really quickly. And so it was 3 months after my wedding that I competed for the first time. And yeah, and I won. I won my first competition, best photographic female, and yeah, with my energy on stage and my physique and everything, and then it went from there. But yes, the dedication and the discipline that you need, diet for sure. But it was such an amazing, at the beginning, it was incredible. It was so amazing. I had this purpose, gave me confidence, because as I mentioned before, I lost my confidence a lot through the things that had happened. I actually had lived by myself since I was 15 years old. I left school. Yeah, that's another massive connection that we have.
We are a little bit similar.
Yeah, our lives are parallel. We've literally lived parallel lives on the other side of the world. So I went through a lot with that. I brought myself up, basically. I worked. So yeah, I lost my confidence, but then getting on stage and competing and winning and like having this amazing body and putting my dedication and my focus into myself. And then, so I won and I won and I won.
A few competitions.
Yeah, I won like 3 competitions in a row. Then I got sponsored by USN, which is one of the biggest supplement companies in the world, actually, but particularly in Australia, the States and the UK. And it was all amazing. But then, as I started to get into the bigger federations, like IFBB and everything, like, it's a whole nother league, and I was always natural, 100% natural. I actually barely even use protein shakes and things like creatine or anything like that. I just ate diet regimen, but it just became very extreme, and that's when the obsession turned into a bad obsession. Everything was about competing. Everything was about how I looked. You are judged not on your heart, not on your soul, not on your energy. You are judged on how you look, and purely how you look. And I don't look like everybody else on stage. I have this big curly hair. I didn't have all of my tattoos then, but a few. But even my body, I'm very athletic. And as I said, 100% natural. And I was ripped apart. Like, I was told my hair looked like a mop. I wasn't pretty enough. I had to get fake boobs, which I did, which I then had them removed. And yeah, after I finished competing, just like literally everything, and like being told that I wasn't pretty enough, and I'm like, how can you tell me I'm not pretty enough? I feel like I'm pretty, but I look different. I don't look like a Barbie doll. I don't look like everybody else, and that's an amazing thing, that I don't look like everybody else.
Because a Barbie doll is made out of plastic and rubber,
exactly,
right?
and also, but it's being judged on the external, and then that consumed me as well. And it got to a point where I was overtraining, I was under eating, the stress was like ridiculous that I was putting my body through. And I did a competition, and then I won that competition. No, I didn't win that competition. I did 9 competitions in a really short space of time, because I was like trying to get the trophy. But I was just deteriorating. And then I ended up in hospital because of the under eating, dehydration, because you have to dehydrate for competitions to shrink wrap your muscles. So my kidneys were actually failing. Yeah. And then I was in a hospital bed, and I woke up and I had like all of these like doctors and nurses around me, and they were like, are you okay? Like, what are you feeling? And I was like, I don't really know. They were like, well, your heart keeps stopping. So I was like, okay. So they were like, we're going to move you. Yeah, I was 34 at that point. So they moved me to a cardiac ward. And so I was in there for a week, and I was like days away from being cut open and having a pacemaker put inside of me. And that was all because of what I was doing to my body, through also the advice that I was getting from different trainers, you know, do this, do that, wearing a corset 24/7 to bring my waist in. So I would have more of an hourglass figure. But imagine what that's doing, what it did to women in Victorian times. It's like you're squeezing your organs, you know. Yeah, so I was like, no, I know. And because I am in touch, intuition, I knew I didn't need a pacemaker. I knew that it was me that had done this to myself. You know, I was not listening to my body. You know, there was times in the gym I'd pass out, all of these things. So I was like, it was the moment, it was the universe, right, saying to me.
You were strong enough and your mind was strong enough to say,
I know I've done this to myself. I know that I've done this to myself and I can get myself out of this. So then I was out of hospital. I refused the pacemaker and I said no. And I was like, I'm going to rebuild my life and I'm going to rebuild my health. And I saw a functional medicine practitioner to help me, because I'd been through numerous tests as well, because my gut was all over the place. Couldn't eat anything without it coming straight out of me. Oh, wow. You know, it was like, it was crazy times. Didn't have a period for 4 years, like a vital function of like being a woman, not just because of like the connection to your womb and your feminine, but you need estrogen. You need estrogen. So I was actually postmenopausal at 35. But so, you know, fast forward, I healed myself with the help of the practitioner. And then I was like, right, I'm going to use this discipline and this dedication that I have, and I'm going to apply it to myself in the most healthy way. And then I went to the Institute for Optimum Nutrition and did a 4-year equivalent to a degree in nutritional therapy and functional medicine, with the goal of educating women, particularly women that train, but all women, about how you can live in complete harmony with your body, with your hormones, with your gut, and you can exercise in line with you, and you can still have these wonderful treats, but in a healthy way. It's understanding food, and that food is fuel. And if you don't know what the ingredients are, or if you don't recognize what that food is, don't bloody eat it, right? Because Mother Nature has given us whole foods. Mother Nature has given us everything we need to thrive. And so that has then become my mission, is to inspire women, teach women, and men and everyone, in coaching, about food as fuel, food as medicine, how to exercise. And, you know, I go to the gym every day. Sometimes I don't go to the gym for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Whereas before that would send me in a spiral of like, my muscles are falling, I'm fat, I'm whatever, because I had extreme body dysmorphia at a time as well. But now it's like, I'm cool, I'm balanced. And that's what I teach women, is about balance. And food is medicine, and exercise is medicine, and just exercising in line with your cycle. And I've actually created a course, a 9-module course called How to Harness the Power of Your Hormones, which is being released very soon. Which
Links
is
down below.
Yes, exactly. And that is all about educating women about your cycle. So you women out there, what your hormones are doing, because the hormones are not the same throughout the month, and depending on that is what we can eat, how we exercise. And then also, if you do have an imbalance, if you have PMS, if you have intense period pain, there you can do so many things to change it with diet and modulating like their enzymes, and the way, like, I have many analogies, but my favorite one, which he's laughing at me, is a cup of broccoli a day keeps your bad estrogen at bay. So wow, broccoli is steamed or roasted, you know, and broccoli sprouts, just all the broccoli, because it contains an ingredient called sulforaphane, and sulforaphane helps to funnel your estrogen being detoxified in your body down the most protective route. So that's why a cup of broccoli a day keeps your bad estrogen at bay. So there's lots of tips about that in my course, and how to live your best life, and how to become that superwoman that we all are and thrive.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What a journey.
Thank you.
Yeah, actually, she take care of me. I used to have more weight. I used to, yeah, because I never was skinny in my life. That's the truth. And I had this crazy motorbike accident almost 11 years ago, and I stopped to train at all because it's like, yeah, I used to do like a downhill motorbikes, also like like a jumping from rocks to the ocean and everything. So I am almost broken. Like all my arms, they have at least every like a leg or arm, my ribs, everything is broken in some point.
Scars.
Do you have like
Yeah.
metal? Metal plates?
I don't have any metal inside, but I had the best surgeons for, yeah, but I broke myself. The last time I was almost 2 years in wheelchair.
No way.
Yeah, I was doing my ceremonies in wheelchair. I used to go to do my ceremonies, arrive in wheelchair.
Wow.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
was, you said 11 years?
11 years ago, 10 years ago, yeah, yeah. So 11 years ago was the accident, and I was almost 2 years in recovering. So I was like 1 year, maybe 8 months, 9 months, like in wheelchair with these crutches?
Crutches.
With
Yeah.
crutches, yeah. Like lots of pain because I destroyed completely my right ankle. And so I lost all muscles on my leg because 2 years without walking is like, it's a long time. So after that, I became super lazy to training and everything. And then nobody could convince me, huh? Yeah, but when Claire came to my life, now she's bringing me to the gym, yeah, and like
we need a little motivation
yeah,
from
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah,
But it's
and
mainly
especially
nutrition.
about my nutrition, yeah. I didn't used to have such a good nutrition, yeah, because I was using the same elements, or food. My family just gave the example for me, or just my way to it, no? But when Claire came, she said, no, look, this, you will replace it with this, and now we will eat like 5 or 6 veggies per day, and
Eat the
like
rainbow.
this,
The fiber.
yeah,
Yeah.
even no diets, huh? No diet,
Not at all.
not
No
restricting,
restriction.
no restriction of
Just whole
food,
food.
believe me.
Limited,
Yeah,
No counting macros, no weighing foods, anything
Yeah.
like that. It's just
it's a
about
whole other structure.
intuitive eating and
Yeah.
education. So
I lost
yeah.
at least 20 pounds in the last 1 year.
Yeah.
Wow. By moving so much and
Just
like,
only following her
yeah.
way for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And removing sugar. And
She's
that's-
an amazing coach for nutrition.
Yeah.
For
I know
everyone who
everything.
wants to- yeah.
I know everything about all
Yeah,
foods, all
yeah.
enzymes, food combinations.
take you out.
And I'm like, both of us are, we're master chefs. But
yeah.
my actual first website that I ever created and book was called the Fitness Food File. So it was turning all the I don't know, bad or naughty recipes into fitness food. So I have a swap for everything.
There's always alternatives.
And there's
You just
always
need to have
alternatives, but we're
access to
not
them.
educated about what food is. From we were having this conversation the other day about children, and they're just pumped full of these messages. Like if it's a vegetable, or
So many messages. out there.
so many messages,
bombarded.
and like you're seeing these kids just eating shit. Basically, because it's messages that they've got. But if we, and also, so you send the right messages, the right education, and then it's, the way the world is, the cheap food, the bad food, the
Macaroni
stuff
and
that
cheese.
is, all of that is really cheap and accessible for the masses. But the healthy, whole foods, organic foods, and the less processed foods is really expensive. There's something wrong there, isn't there?
There's something very wrong. in
something
there.
very wrong.
Yeah, because they want to keep the people sick.
Exactly,
It's
'cause that's
they
how you
want
make
the people
money.
healthy. Yeah, we know
That's how
that.
they make the money. So yeah, it's like, again, this is my mission, and it's also now my love's mission as well. It's like we were always educating. We're always educating people about nutrition, and also in our ceremonies as well. It's like how to eat and how to eat afterwards, and like how to support your body.
Like, take
Yeah.
a strict diet before the ceremony.
Not so much a strict diet.
I don't do
No.
diets before ceremony, especially before ceremony. So I ask to the people who comes to ceremony, don't eat so much because you're not gonna be moving yourself in there. You will come, sit in a chair, or being laying down in a mattress during the whole journey, right? Yeah, but I will be playing music for 6 hours. So yeah, the people who I learn from, especially the Amazonian people, I never saw them fasting before a ceremony. They just don't fast before ceremonies.
Or they
The
eat
indigenous.
specific things or
No, love. No, 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 no. They will eat beef. They will
and
eat
fish
beef or fish. Yeah, no, if fish is the minimum that they can eat because so they live in the jungle. The most easy way to eat something like protein is the fishes, but sometimes there are no fishes. And but if they have beef, red meat, they will always choose the red meat. If you bring them to somewhere to a restaurant, if you bring an Amazonian person to a restaurant, he will always choose beef
because a lot of cows.
because beef has more proteins than all the
Yeah,
rest
a
of
lot of
the
nutrients in beef.
of the meats. So it's more rich than all of them.
Yeah,
So they
heme
knows
iron.
and they know their bodies and how this make them feel. I respect the vegetarians and everybody can choose however they want to feed themselves is okay. But when I speak about the medicines and everything, and I am South American, I never saw anybody in the tribes, Shipibos or Noque Queens, Brazilians or Peruvians, or anybody of the indigenous, not even in United States or Canada, nobody fasting during their ceremonies, only when they have to put an special intention. When the North American tribes, they fast when they do the Sundance, or the Sundance or the Vision Quest. Is the only moment that the people will be fasting. And
Sweat
actually,
lodges?
yes, actually, and from the understanding of this Sundance, you're gonna be fasting in the mountain below a tree, with all your prayers surrounding you, but you're gonna have people who will light on a fire, very powerful fire during the 4 or 5 days that you're gonna be in there, and they will be eating on your name, only to send you the energy to hold all this fasting during the 4 days and find your vision.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Fasting during
Yeah, the people in Mexico, nobody's fasting before any ceremony.
You might be
Nobody.
like sensitive to maybe salt and caffeine afterwards, or
It's just like salt doesn't affect you when you're gonna drink ayahuasca.
And salt's really
And
important.
not even sugar.
Right.
Not even sugar.
Electrolytes.
The people in the Amazon, they love sugar. Actually, I never had
the cane
any
juice from the trees.
more sweetest coffee than the coffee when one of the most crazy, amazing shamans in Amazon, every time that he came to offer capi, huh? Do you want capi? Like the most sweet coffee. That coffee, a person like Claire, she won't ever have.
Ever.
Just say no
Huh?
sugar.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
no, no. Yeah. She doesn't put sugar. Actually, I can put like a little bit of sugar to my coffee, but now
Just
I
a bit more
replace the
bitter.
sugar for the honey.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah, and using honey.
And a lot
Dense.
less as
Yeah,
well.
a lot
you
less.
know.
Yeah.
You don't need as much.
I used to drink honey with a touch of tea.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He absolutely did. He absolutely did.
I just love it. I'm like a bear.
Yeah, he's my
Like a bear.
he's my honey bear.
Thick tea.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like even like just to touch on the whole fasting thing as well. Fasting is amazing. It is amazing for your body, but it's also you need to fast kind of under supervision of a qualified registered nutritional therapist or dietitian, especially women. Because if we have any imbalance in our stress response, so the stress response is basically diverts, and that's why a lot of women have problems with their periods, is because our stress response has not changed from day dot. But what has changed is what we call the stressors, right?
So many of them.
So many of them. And so you do not need to be having a baby when you should be running away from a saber-toothed tiger, effectively, right? So you think about all of
Because our
those
brains
stress.
are always thinking that we are running from
exactly.
a
You're
saber-toothed
always in
tiger.
danger. And then, so what happens with fasting is it actually creates stress in the body. So if you are in a balanced hormonal state, then that's okay. But if you are not, if you have period problems, if you have particularly thyroid problems, because the stress response and cortisol and thyroid are very related as well, it wreaks havoc for your body. It elevates your blood sugar and then your blood sugar drops. Your blood sugar goes up, then it drops, and also we were talking about salt. Salt is very important, the minerals, particularly if you're going for like Himalayan pink salt. We need to replace minerals, and fasting it's just not good if you have imbalances in your body. And then when you're going into the medicine, you need to be full power. You need to have strength to be able to go through your journey. So fasting is like, okay, yeah, let's not eat loads of processed food, like whole food diet. And then the same after is replenish your body. And particularly if you are vegan and vegetarian, like we will encourage you to, if you do eat meat sometimes, eat some meat, you know, after the ceremony to boost your proteins and everything. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, the people who I saw more fucked up in ceremonies actually were vegans and vegetarians.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
I can tell you the secret why. I can tell you the secret why the people in the jungle they ask you to fast before you come to ceremonies.
Secret?
Yes, it's not gonna be a secret anymore. Right? You know why my
Really?
people in the jungle and South American people, indigenous especially, they think about people like us, like from Europe or from the States or from wherever you are, that if you are not an indigenous and they ask you for fasting and they don't allow you to eat any more of your own food, until you arrive in there and they will give you their own food to bless you. They ask you for that because they think that we are cursed.
We might be.
Yes, they think that we are cursed.
We're tainted.
Yes, yes. So they can feel our energy coming from the industry. That's because they can ask you for fast or leave your food when you go to diets.
So our food is tainted and
Exactly. Yeah, and you know what happened in this world is the people from the Western world, or from even from other countries, they go to retreats in Amazon where they're gonna send you a letter asking you for do fasting, right? And leave this food, you cannot eat this, you cannot eat that, blah, blah, blah. They ask you for this. So after some people, they go to these diets and they go especially to Peru, which is the most famous country to go and do ceremonies, right? Everybody almost wants to go to Peru, and there's some people in the world that they think that the medicine comes from Peru.
But it doesn't.
No, but it's not like that. The medicine comes from Amazon.
Right.
Amazon is the 70% of South America. And you have up to 400 tribes working with ayahuasca. You know?
It's a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
But it grows everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the 70% of the people who ever went to Amazon to try any medicine went to Peru.
It's a popular place to go.
It's a very popular place. So I was 6 years in there, so I can tell. I can relate. So it's amazing. It's amazing, full of beauty and amazing things and understanding. So
Snakes and spiders and.
not so much like Brazil.
Oh. Okay.
No, because in Peru, the indigenous, they kill everything around. That's because in Peru, you can go to the market and buy condor feathers,
I've
snake
seen.
skins, parrots, macaws feathers, and absolutely everything, which is something that I don't support. If you are not a shaman, you shouldn't wear feathers on your head.
Oh.
Just like that, because all these people, crazy people who is going to jungle, is making the Amazonian people kill the animals of the jungle only to go and then wear their feathers in their countries.
Tourism.
Yes, for tourism. So this is killing the nature, the mother nature in the
You have to
Amazon.
kill a bird for the.
Yeah,
course.
yeah, exactly. They will kill the beautiful eagles and the beautiful macaws only for selling to these tourists that they are coming for retreats of 10 days in the jungle. And everybody is wearing feathers, but the feathers are for shamans and also for shanas. Normal people in the jungle, they don't wear feathers, only tiaras and bracelets.
Tiaras, which are crowns
Yes,
for princesses.
yes, these beads, tiaras, the normal people in the jungle who is not a shaman or a singer, official singers from the tribe, nobody wear feathers. If you are not a shaman or musician and singer, you shouldn't wear feathers. And I want to be very clear about it in this podcast too. I'm against the fake shamans in this world and people who is going exactly to these kind of retreats. And the people think that you are cursed and they are asking you to do fasting. And then you are asking for other people to do the same, to come to your fake ceremonies. You are asking for things that they don't exist in the environment of the Amazon. They don't belong in there. They
There's a lot
don't
of
belong to the
ceremonies
place.
now
And there's some people
elsewhere.
passing
Yeah.
out in ceremonies and they cannot even move by themselves. And they are actually even like making these big mistakes, putting on risk their own lives because the medicines, they will ask you for lots of physical energy.
Yeah.
And if you don't have food on your stomach,
Important.
you cannot handle
Yeah.
because you don't have the complementary plant which is going to fulfill all those spaces, which is the only reason that you have to make a special diet or fasting day before you start a special diet, especially with the Peruvian tribes. Now I think Yawanawas, they are doing this kind of diet. I don't know, it's because I think the new masters in Yawanawas are women, which is something very new in the shamanic world in Brazil, which was a land where only the doctors and shamans, they were used to be men. And now that they have women, yeah, they are the connectors with the plant world. And now you have diets also in Brazil, which is amazing. Because if I met amazing masters of medicines in this world, they were women. So much
Connecting with the
beautiful
roots,
energy,
Creation,
taking
yeah.
care like of you as children. It's like so much love and blessings. Sending blessings again to my grandmother Amelia, which is very old shaman from Chipivos. She was actually sick. I hope she's okay. Yeah, and for all my beautiful sisters in Peru, they are so wise. And especially my wife here next to me, she's so wise too. It's exactly what a medicine man needs. Needs an amazing partner, which is not a shadow of you. She is in her own power.
Thank you.
And this is what my mission is. My mission in this world as a medicine man, as a shaman, is not to go and take the responsibility for all the people that is in front of me. You know what I mean? What I want to give to my people is I want to teach them to take the power in their own hands and be responsible of their own lives. Because what I was seeing in all these last years during all the path of ceremonies and everything, I was seeing that the people is going to ceremonies and they put all the responsibility in the hands of the shamans. Even I had a bad journey because the shaman. Oh, no, I had a bad journey because the person in front of me. And it's not like that.
You.
If you have a dark journey
You
with the
decide to
medicine,
do it.
it's because something that you have inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because what about your life? So how you live in this society, which is like you're living next to, you're watching on the news and everything, how the wars are
ancestors.
happening and so much darkness around you. How you can even stand up from your bed in the morning? Huh? So you're going to put the responsibility in the TV news because you feel bad? I don't think so. What I
Dark
think,
energies.
yes, what I think is that we need to take the power once and all in our own hands and be responsible of our actions and decisions, which is the consequences that we are living today and how we are today, who we are today.
Because we're not looking within. We're not like
Exactly.
healing
Exactly.
our tribes or our ancestors
Yeah.
or whatever's inside here. So we're just projecting it.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Actually, I'm doing a very special mentoring now. Before all my ceremonies, I'm taking long time only speaking to the people about what they gonna feel with the medicines, which is a practice that is not happening everywhere. That's because you have so many stories about the medicine. No, I went to this ceremony and these people ruined my ceremony. The people was screaming. This was freaking out. This was doing this, doing that, disturbing the peace of others only because of selfishness. And also,
In the ceremony.
yes, and also because nobody explained them what is going to happen with them. I was in so many ceremonies. I used to go and support other shamans, which is I'm not doing anymore, only with special people who works very similar than me, which is people who will explain step by step what is going to happen to these people with the medicines. Not this kind of shamans that, hello, no, shamans don't speak so much, we are coming to play music. It's not like that. The shamans that I know from the jungle, they step on front of all the people and they do a speech on front of the tribes. They are caciques, masters of medicine, and they guide the people in there. But they cannot come and speak in your ceremony because they don't speak English. So they cannot give you the full information. But this is what we are doing here. Is our mission is to communicate and translate their messages that they're not only in the dimensions of the medicines, they are also explanations to program your mind before you go into this journey and you embark this ship that you're gonna take, and you have to drive it by yourself, because
Absolutely.
nobody can go into your journey and do it for you.
No.
So this is what I'm teaching to my people, and it's very important. And that's because there's so much fakeness around, and people freaking out in ceremonies only because of lack of information.
Yeah.
And a certain programming prior to.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly that.
Exactly. When you say to the people, believe me, now in the feedbacks of ceremonies,
Incredible.
so the people
Yeah.
say to me, oh my God, I was getting scared during the journey because I didn't knew what it was, first timers, And then they say, but I remember your voice inside. And then I get so in calm and I could go deeper on my
So
feelings.
focusing
Yeah.
on the music and
Focusing.
the-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be your own investigator. Be
Oh
an
my
investigator of your internal world. Like that's the point. That's the point. Isn't the point isn't to be screaming and shouting and convulsing and that.
Sometimes it's a deep and dark place.
Exactly.
But you go.
Internal world.
We need to go to those dark spaces with integrity to understand who we are and what's created the pattern, the trauma, and then exactly, and as I said, with integrity and with stillness and meditation, to then be able to deal with it. And yeah, you can cry, you can release, but in a respectful way to yourself. First and foremost,
Exactly.
you don't want to be seen like a bloody clown, or like you see like
Yeah,
that someone's
and-
going to make a meme out of you because you're like screaming and convulsing. You're
We might be a clown inside and we're just bringing it out.
but bringing
No,
it
so
out.
clouds are amazing too.
Yeah.
Or
He's a-
terrific. Or terrific.
He's such
Yeah,
a clown. He's
but
such
you
a
know,
clown.
what I always ask to my people when I have them on front, I ask them, okay, my friends, my brothers and sisters, how do you wanna be seen from the shamanic world? If I am your shaman, how do you want to be seen from me to you? Do you want to be seen as a sick person? Do you want to be seen as like a potato bag in there on the floor that you cannot do anything? No, I don't think so. You really want to be seen as a powerful people because you have a full, whole universe inside. Go and discover and stand up. And if the medicine is pushing you down, all the shamans and people who is here now singing for you, we have to do the same. Try to do it at least. If you cannot, no worries. Maybe you're gonna do it in the next one, but try. Try.
That's another layer, like thinking of what the shaman thinks and then
Yeah.
looking within. It's like
It's
to-
conquering yourself.
Yeah, it's conquering yourself.
Conquer yourself.
Yeah.
Be the master of your own universe, because that's what we are.
Life,
Yeah,
too.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's and I feel so proud, my dear, because I'm already years that nobody screamed in my ceremonies.
Oh.
No one is screaming. I even set recording a studio with 7 microphones, 7 lines connected to Ableton Live. In my ceremony recording, I have hundreds of hours of ceremonies full recorded.
Okay.
Because
As
no
soundtracks?
screamings,
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
screamings of people, no people freaking out.
Nothing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And when somebody is about to do it, we are always there to guide them,
And to calm them.
to calm them. And
need
doesn't even
facilitators.
Yeah.
is starting to go to that place, and we are in there already to support and remind them what they are doing there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Important work.
And always my recommendation, 50% intention, 50% mystery.
Yeah.
Oh.
Set your intention, but always leave room for the mystery. Because if you do that, you will avoid completely the frustration after your journey. Because medicines are not only about what you want, they are also about what you really need. Sometimes they give you all the
Rolling
answers.
That's life as well, 50% intention, 50% mystery. Because if you're constantly like, this is what I want to happen, this is that, and you don't leave room for the mystery, you don't leave room to go with the flow, then you're missing out so much, aren't you? And that's the same with our ecstatic dance and the music that we're doing. It's like we set out an intention, and then we leave room for the mystery, and it's actually normally the mystery part, which is the best part. That some of the creations that we've got at the moment, I've written lyrics and we've written lyrics and melodies, but then it evolves, especially when we're in the medicine or when we're doing an ecstatic dance, because we're feeding on other people's energy and we're receiving from them, we then channel that. So yeah, we have an intention. We and he like literally don't really plan our sets. We leave it to the mystery.
You don't have a set list that you...
No.
No.
Okay.
Never. I never even wrote any song.
Okay.
I can...
You just channel it.
Yes.
Channel, yeah.
Yeah, I can do 5 ceremonies with all different songs without repeating any song.
Because you have to let
even
go of
more.
that nervous system, or the nerves that you might like. You seem to have no nerves, or just it's open.
Because we're
Yeah,
being
yeah.
ourselves.
Open channels.
We're
Yeah.
we're open channels. We're authentic.
Yeah, open channels.
So whatever is coming is going to come, and that's what we channel. You know, the songs that we write are written in the moment. The melodies are written in the moment. You know, we of course we do a bit of practicing and things like that, but it's different. And like, yeah, there is no set list. We see what the vibe is.
awesome.
See what's the vibe of the people,
yeah. Because
right?
you are dedicating. Of course, the Icaros, they have a special structure.
Okay.
They are very similar. When you do the ceremony, they're very similar, one ceremony to the other. Depending on the language, this has like a special structure: opening songs, healing songs, and protection songs. So you always do that. You always dedicate, and you show your respect and blessings to the mentors and the people who was before you doing this. You just don't come and start to play your guitar in a ceremony. That's very disrespectful. If you come to do a ceremony and you are a musician and you start to play Indian songs or American songs in English or even in Spanish for the medicines.
That comes after.
This comes after you do a special structure. That is because I'm saying, and I want to spread this message, I would love to delete many people who is working with the medicines right now, which is people who they are not South Americans. Starting for that's my first point.
Wow.
They are not South Americans. Ayahuasca, San Pedro, those two medicines belongs to our countries, to our traditions. If you don't live in South America
Or haven't learned.
haven't learned for at least 5 years living in those lands, very often with the tribes, you don't deserve to have a medicine on your hands and giving to the people. If you are listening me there, I'm sending you this message, people. Please stop to work with our traditions because they belong to our lands. And this is going to give us even especially more abundance for us and our families, which is something that we need so much because Europe and United States are sucking our resources forever in our lands. And now
charging 5 times more.
Exactly. and now that the medicine world is being open, it's so disrespectful than people who never lived in South America. They went few times to visit the tribes in there. They are working with these medicines, and they are not even open to learn with others.
A lot of people are getting hurt too.
Yeah,
They're not
are
guided
getting
right.
hurt because it's like they don't know, and they are not even using the medicines when they are doing their ceremonies. And I know many people who is doing these practices, so I'm sending a message for all of them. You can definitely bring some beauty from your traditions to wherever you come from. If you are from Australia, if you are from Germany, if you are from wherever you are, you can bring beauty from those places too and try to create a new way to spread the love and blessings in the languages from your ancestors, which they are also from there. And if you are from the jungles here in Asia, you are also an amazing medicine man or woman.
Important message. Yeah.
But let's take the right time to learn before, because this is because there's so many people going to ceremonies of healing, and finally they are traumatized with the ceremonies. You know what I mean? It's because it's the same if you go to, I don't know, if you have a problem, if you have a cancer, and you go to a fake doctor, and it's a doctor who never studied for that. It's like going to a doctor who is like a traumatologist, You have cancer and you go to a traumatologist. You know what I'm talking about, right?
It's not, that's not,
Yeah,
won't help
that
you.
doctor cannot help you because he never
It's not
studied
it's a
those techniques.
specialism. Yeah.
So specialize yourself, master yourself before you want to give something like that to the people. And especially somebody has to give you real blessings, real blessings from people. All these fake shamans around that they're saying, I received the message from the grandmother ayahuasca that I need to work with it and give it to the world. But nobody, no human being next to you, a master of medicine, told you. It's like your teachers. It's like your title in the university, a teacher and the director, they will come to give you your title
There's a lineage.
with a
involved.
lineage. Yeah, they will give you a title. They will tell you you are a shaman now. They will initiate you in the old ways. And this is how you come and give it to people when you are ready. Not after 2 retreats in the jungle. You just go and serve the medicines.
Oh,
At
okay,
least
that's
if you
what
have this for all your life and you have lineage of healers. How I know people that they went to the jungle 1 or twice.
But you feel like people should be going into the ceremonies without being from that lineage, or just the ones?
No, he means that
Yeah.
like
But I mean, does it go both ways?
holding a ceremony, being a shaman,
Yeah.
you know,
You need lineage for that.
being
Being
the
But do you
front
think that
person.
people who go to the ceremony should
Mm-hmm.
be from that lineage? Is it just like easier?
But
Or
you mean
it's
that
like
go
an
to a
opening?
ceremony to go for to take ayahuasca?
Yeah.
No, like the medicine is a gift from nature that we all should be able to experience, because we're all connected. We're all connected to Mother Nature, you know. But it's about the person that is serving you the medicine. What is their intentions? What is their training? What is their lineage? And if they are not from their, you know, from the or been taught by the tribes and gone through all the training as he's saying, then they don't really have a place in serving you the medicine. Like I'm talking about being the shaman. Obviously, like I'm not a shaman, but you know I've been doing a lot of work, and he has also given me the blessings. But I help facilitate. I don't serve the medicine. I don't put the blessings in the medicine. Like that's not my place.
Right.
Exactly. This
You
is
know.
a place for very special people. I had students
For
already.
specific people, yeah.
I had students
Special.
already, and I made a really good job with them. And now they are working with the medicines. One of my new brothers now that I'm so proud of
We
him.
love him so
He's a
much.
shaman from Vietnam, and he grew up in Germany. But he has lineage, and he is coming from these crazy shamanic places in Southeast Asia.
Right.
And we met in Thailand, and I saw him since the first moment. And he's a man who he wasn't so many times in Amazon, but he was, and he made his diet. And the masters they gave him this super special Icarus, and he has like a super powers in ceremony. Yeah, and I had the blessings to be sharing with him and with his people, and so impeccable in his work, so dedicated to learn, always able to go and traveling all around the world too.
Yeah.
I want to send my love for my brother right now, my brother Kinam. Yeah. And I actually had other people working with me, and they came to tell me, like, no, I would love to be a shaman or something. And I say to them, no, you cannot be a shaman, I'm sorry, because I don't feel you, bro. It's just like that. It's just I grew up in South America where the shamans are like around my corner lives a shaman. You know what I mean? Yeah, so we know who is and who don't. Yeah, you can come, be in operations, help to organize. You know, everybody has a different mission here, but we are not confused. Not everybody can be the shaman. When you are a shaman, it's because you are a person who the spirits, they touch you from always. You born with these blessings.
I think a lot of like the new society or the modern society lacks the shamans. I think that's why
Exactly.
we're just lost. We don't know where to get our guidance from, and
Exactly.
traditionally we got them from the shamans. And I mean, it could be South America, but I think shamans could be come from all around. But it's like people who are really connected
I
to the
consi-
land, to the spirit,
And the
to-
cultures.
I
and everything
consider
else.
the doctors in hospital, they're also shamans. The shamans from the
they're
Western
good.
world, because all the world and all the societies, they have their own shamans. Their own
We need
doctors.
them.
This is what the shaman is. The shaman is the person who will help in the moment that you need to help. You will go into the person and will tell them what to do. Because the medicines,
Guidance.
they are actually not only focusing healing, the medicine is to celebrate life and dance and sing. And
Expand.
the shaman is in there only to help a person who is really sick. Huh? Yeah.
Okay.
That's because we have so many people in these days saying, I'm a facilitator of medicines. I'm sorry, what is that? I say, facilitator.
They have a website.
It's like a Terminator. it's like a Terminator or something. Yeah, no, you should stop. The facilitators, they don't play with these games. You know what I mean? This is for big people.
game.
This is for real people. So you are a shaman, and you will say that you are a shaman. Also, there's people saying a shaman never say there is a shaman.
Why not?
I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what are you talking about? I say to some people, a shaman never say. So if somebody asks me, what are you, which is your profession? Shall I say that I'm a BMX extreme sport biker? No?
You need to be trained for that.
So, you know what I mean?
Experience.
So if you are an engineer, and somebody asks you, which is your profession, what you going to say? I'm an engineer, right? Yeah. If you are a doctor, you will say, I am a doctor. If you are a shaman, you will say, I am a shaman. That's because there's so many fake people, because they cannot come from inside. They cannot even say, I am a shaman, because they really don't. It's just
gotta
that
be
easy.
real.
Because if you go to Amazon and if you ask Tu Paje Oreka, one of the most ancient and old shamans in the village, who are you? I am Paje Oreka, original shaman from Nokequin tribe. That's what he say, and in a very high voice. Everybody can listen.
'Cause he is.
If you ask to Pajepe no, my spiritual father, who are you? I am Pajepe no Kamanawa, Romeya, original shaman from Nokequin. So when the people say, oh, no, shamans, they don't say they are shamans. I'm sorry. If you don't say that you are a shaman, it's because you are not. See, if you cannot say it. Exactly.
Yeah.
You are like a facilitator or terminator. Yeah, it's like very similar because it's like, and this is very fake. That is because we have so many people also creating like fake titles and everything. You have many people working with fake titles in the world. We always see, no, we discovered this fake doctor who
no
was
regulations.
giving like permissions and making money with this. It's in all kind of professions. They have fake people.
Yeah,
There's
so
fake people.
it's time to. So we've actually written a song recently called Smoke Screens and Illusions.
Yeah.
And it's all about all of this. It's about you and the masks that you put up. And the smoke screens and illusions that we hide behind, and it applies to absolutely everything. And it's there's lyrics which is lying to me, lying to you, lying to me, but the unstoppable truth always comes out, and
At
it is
the end.
at the end. It always does.
Not only at the end,
In the
mi-
middle, in the middle.
or in the beginning,
Yeah.
when you are in the
It's
beginning
known.
of something.
Yeah. And so it's time to bring the masks down. It's time to be real and be who you are. Stand up for who you are, your gifts, your talents, and don't take it away from other people. You know, we are all unique. We all have our superpowers. We all have a gift to share and to inspire, but in your own unique way. And don't lie about who you are. Don't hide behind those smoke screens and illusions, because they fool the crowd. They do fool the crowd. But eventually the crowd gets wise because you're not being real. You're not being authentic. And if you're not being real and you're not being authentic, that will always come out. Yeah.
And there are enough resources out there if
Yeah.
you're being authentic and real for to pursue
Yeah.
what you want to pursue.
Yeah.
But it's about being
Yeah.
real and authentic.
Yeah.
It's important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Love. Yeah. And it's something that I have to say, I was fake also sometimes in my life. And I learned how not to being like that. And believe me, since I make some changes, I feel so good. And believe me, it's like my energy,
lighter.
my even all my offering as a shaman is like everything is changing only because I took all masks out and I start to live a real life with real things. I'm so happy. And I also have to say that I'm very happy being a beginner in something which is the DJ world
Yeah, we can
and
go
the
back
ecstatic
and
dance.
close up,
Let's go
I'm
back
very
to that.
happy to be a beginner.
Yeah.
And I respect lots the old DJs and all their knowledge, and I want to show my gratitude also for the people who inspired me to this. Yeah, one of them is Jay Poole, my brother Jay Poole, which I made my first Ableton Live training with him. He's an amazing ecstatic dance DJ and producer, and I want to send my love in this podcast for him and Belen and Tao, amazing family. Yeah, he inspired me so much, and also all the people who participate in all the productions of music.
Yeah, so like, just to close up, is there any like musical projects that are coming up that you guys are excited about?
Do we have
You guys
any?
wanna
Just a
share with
few.
We
Just a
have so many
few.
new songs coming.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
Yeah, so we have an
So
album
many
that
new.
we're working on right now.
Yeah.
And it's an acoustic album, but then we're also working on an electronic album as well. And then we have lots of events coming up. So would you like to say, baby?
Oh yeah, we are actually residents in Alchemy, one of the most beautiful places in this island, in Uluwatu, and also now we're gonna start to play in Ubud.
Yeah. So
we are so excited to play now in September. So we can wait to see the tribe, everybody who will come. So it's
so
like,
that's the 20th. So Ubud is the 20th of September.
Okay.
And
Uluwatu
Uluwatu is the 13th.
That's exciting.
And then other projects that we're working on, we're in, conversations with different like places that have some like beautiful like yoga shalas to create some new ecstatic dances, and not just ecstatic dance, we play in some clubs as well, and we have an amazing friend, so I'll hand this over to you, where we're going to be playing soon. Chico's place.
Oh yeah, we have a new friend who has this new restaurant, and he is built like a club next to. So we're gonna start to play for our people almost every week in there. Whenever we have time, we're gonna be playing in there only because we love to play music and to support our brother. This is in Tanalot, near Nuanu City. So for all the community which is near Changu, everybody's invited to this. We're gonna be there like spreading the love in the music. No judgments. I'm really open to play the ecstatic dance and rise our spirits, for the spiritual community and everybody who wants to go to sober parties and everything. I'm so happy to share the vibe with all that people. We have music special for that. Tribal music, indigenous singing, real shamans singing in our songs. So, and we tell a story with that for our people with all our love. And I don't have any problem with the people who drinks alcohol. I don't judge anybody because there's beauty everywhere. And not only in the people who doesn't drink alcohol, is the beauty of life. Because there's some people who there's some people who goes to parties in Sabaya, Morabito, that they're really beautiful. We have amazing, beautiful friends in there too. Very awakened people too, and they don't go just to ceremonies or things like that. But we are really good friends in life.
We love a party.
We
love to party. It's
we
celebration.
Love party,
we love to go out and party and dance, and so it's like, don't like pigeonhole yourself into.
We go to those parties. We don't drink alcohol. But we can share with the people, and everybody respectful, and everything's such a good vibe.
And also people not necessarily in the spiritual community, but just anywhere.
There's so many people that they are not going into ceremonies or meditations, but they are super spiritual too.
True.
So
we're authentic.
Exactly. And in the other side also, it's like everywhere there's beauty and also darkness. So we are navigating all the time in this. We need to be strong to be in every place. So these energies or frequencies, they cannot affect you, because if you are not spiritual and if you go to an ecstatic dance with tribal music, these frequencies that you think that they are such a high vibe, they will affect the people who is not in that same vibration. And they're not gonna feel good. Everybody
Yeah.
has their own place where
Yeah.
you can rise your soul and feel so good.
Yeah.
Huh? Even if you have to handle a hangover in the next day, right?
Yeah. But what do we all connect through? We all connect through music. Don't
Yeah, we are all connected through music.
We're all connected
Yeah,
through
music
music.
is life. Music is life.
You
Yeah.
know,
Those
and we
are
all
good.
have those songs which we connect, brings us back to a memory, you know, good or bad, and that elation, you know, when the drop comes, and you unite the crowd, and you know the person you've never met by your side becomes your best friend in that moment because you're sharing the beauty and the frequency and the vibrations. So that doesn't matter if you're in ecstatic dance or if you're in a club or on the beach, you know, with your own speaker. Like, music unites, music heals, and music elevates, and music also allows you to release your emotions.
Yeah.
You know, so it's all of those.
powerful.
It's a powerful tool, and we are here. Our purpose, and to definitely together is that we are one, because we have such a strong connection to the music as well, and that connects our souls, and then our souls connects to other souls. And it's about raising the vibrations and the frequencies of people and
Yeah.
supporting them. Yeah.
Title of this
Yeah.
podcast.
And thank you so much
Thank
for,
you so much, Andrea.
for your beautiful questions.
Yeah, thank
oh my
you.
God.
Coming. Thank you, everyone who out there who's listening, and we're gonna put all the links down below.
Amazing.
And thanks again.
Thank
See
you
you in
so
the
much.
next
thank you so
you.
much.
Thank you. You.